I love finding ways to have parents involved in helping out with Disciple Now in whatever way they can. Obviously, in the planning stages, I like to kind of open it up to suggestion. And we have a meeting, actually a couple of our leaders who normally help out with our youth group are parents. So I like to open it up to them for suggestions. They know other parents. You know, it's good to have a couple of core parents that are there to help out who want to. The key thing is it's all about who wants to help and how do they want to get involved, because helping out can be anything from making sure all the meals are provided, which we have amazing moms who make sure meals are provided, as all churches should have. It's everything from that to how do you get the parents involved in follow up. The best ministry that exists, hopefully, we can encourage to be in the home. I would like to have more ways for parents to get involved. I would like to have the resources to just hand things over to the parents and say, this is what we talked about. Follow up. When your student gets home, talk to them. Be excited. Talk to them about what they learned at an event. Don't just let it be another event.
The parent is essentially the discipler of your student. Your parent is going to be involved in the student's life on the long term, and your parent is going to be the closest one to see sanctification, spiritual growth in the life of their student. And so as you're doing DNow, if there is a way to bring parents in, maybe a parent one night where the parents come in and giving them questions and different things for the student and the parent to dive in with after DNow. So discipleship isn't a moment. It isn't a moment in time. We're not on this spiritual mountain having this experience with God that's not going to last. Because when they get back into real life, use the youth minister, you'll be back to Monday. But mom and dad will be with them in that moment in community.
The importance of having our parents involved in our Disciple Now weekend, I would say parental involvement is foundational in our youth ministry. You know, just biblically, God uses the family, uses parents to raise children in the love and admonition of the Lord. And so it's foundational in our ministry. And we really want our ministry not to be one that goes in front of the parents or comes behind the parents, but comes alongside of them. Really a partnering relationship that we're a resource to the parents. And so we try to think of as many ways that we can to get parents involved. It may be a small level of involvement where they just bring snacks, or you know, more involved that if they're hosting a group at their house where they're actually doing ministry and engaging in conversations. But whatever it is, something that just kind of gives them ownership of the weekend, enables them in their ministry to their son or daughter and their friends.
A lot of people ask, what in the world do we do with the parents during the Disciple Now weekend? There's a lot of jobs, a lot of responsibilities they can take hold of. Sure, they can provide food, they can provide a home, they can drive, they can set up, they can promote, they can pray, they can provide, whatever that looks like for a parent. Well, let me throw another idea at you. Let's make sure that parents are a vital part and they're in those small group studies as well. The small group leader, especially if you bring them in from the outside, they're going to be gone come Sunday afternoon. But the parents are going to be the constant in that youth ministry. As their kids grew up, they were always going to be there. So them being part of the small group studies can be a vital part, not just to a weekend, but a discipleship process of a student as they're in your student ministry.
When I'm including parents, and I think about parents, you know, some youth workers don't like to deal with the parents because they're they're spying on you and they're wanting to know all these things. To me, it's about the economy of youth ministry, what I call the economy of youth ministry. And we're in the jobs market. You know, we're in a place where we want to have a zero unemployment rate. So if that means, look, this is an opportunity to involve parents. First of all, parents don't understand maybe what you're doing. And the more parents you involve and include, not necessarily with the hands-on, everyday, day-to-day things, but at least in the information process, because parents can take on many roles. They can help with the food. They can help with, some want to be a small group leader, and some make good small group leaders. Some make, to help with the service project. Some help with, so if you decide early on how many different ways can you slice this pie, and then figure out ways to involve parents, I think to me, it's win-win. You're not just doing youth ministry, you're doing family ministry. And to do family ministry and to do a DNow with family ministry emphasis, you can't leave the parents out. And that's moms, dads, things like that. They can be drivers. They can be anything, just a on-call person. But they also can be, I've submitted to parents where they were their prayer partners for the weekend. And especially if you wind up your weekend, I've done it where you've done it with families, where you invite the family to a communion service and things like that you have a great opportunity to minister to the whole family and not just to get kids on board with your program. I think there's a much bigger picture at work here than just getting kids to a retreat and getting them, in the Bible studies and things like that. But you have a real opportunity to include parents, and so that's one of my emphasis is to make sure that we try to include parents wherever we can.